So if you know anything about me and this channel here, you know I had to cover this one. Matt Dillahunty, once again, except this time, well, not literally, but as close to that as possible, flips over the chessboard, walks out, rage quits. I don't think he claimed victory, but his sycophants surely did. Oh, what a bunch of sad sacks of shit. So, I gotta say, I was a bit disappointed. I was looking forward to this debate. I don't really feel like criticizing Andrew because I don't think he did anything wrong. But, you know, if you really wanted to nitpick a little bit, I guess he could have been nicer to Matt. And maybe even he himself regrets that because I think the victory would have been sweeter. And he definitely seems to care about that sort of thing. And I think it would have been interesting to watch Matt Dillahunty squirm and sweat and get all frustrated and become exactly that once again that he projected onto Andrew. And I'm not saying he was incorrect in all of his assessments of Andrew's personal conduct, right? But I mean, that's exactly everything Matt Dillahunty's ever been. So Dillahunty's complaint was that Andrew called people who believe that men can be women lunatics, right? Okay. And he just went right after Matt's worldview, right? And he wasn't kind. He spoke the truth, but was he rude? Or I wouldn't say rude, abrasive, arrogant. Sure. Once again, everything that Matt Dillahunty himself is, even in his opening statement, right? Matt Dillahunty conflated Christianity with some Islamist terror groups, you know, things of that nature, called God a bumbling one, you know what I mean? And as he has in the past, just basically insulted Christianity, right? Nobody bitched and moaned like a little bitch. Nobody cried, right? But maybe Andrew was seething inside him. Maybe that's why he went after him hard. I don't think so, because it seemed like he was just reading a statement he prepared, opening statement. So, Matt Dillahunty's just a fucking hypocrite. I mean, right off the bat, he just attacked Christianity, conflated it with, you know, Muslim terrorists, and basically presented Christianity as something that it used to be, right? The Old Testament Christianity, more or less, and maybe medieval Christianity, he basically conflated what Christianity used to be manifested as to what it is today, with what it is today. And that just wasn't fair. And to conflate it with, you know, Muslim terrorists and Gaza and what's happening between the Jews and the Muslims, and like, what the fuck does that have to do with Christianity, right? So for him to then turn around and bitch and moan and complain that Andrew wasn't addressing the topic, which he was, to be upset that he was concentrating on LGBT and the nonsense that it is, right? As a direct result of secular humanism, at least that was his argument, right? If you think he's wrong, stick around and tell us how. It was just ridiculous. I don't know what the hell happened to Matt, but he's on some kind of meds. I guess he's diabetic, so his blood sugar is probably all over the fucking place. He just can't handle himself anymore, right? You take who he is, you put a mirror in his face, at least to some degree, and he doesn't like what he sees. So he runs out, bitching and moaning and crying, right? You treat him exactly how he treats others, except you have truth on your side, right? And he just blows the fucking fuse. He can't handle it. He could dish it out, but he can't handle it. I think that if indeed we are to take Andrew's abrasiveness and strong words toward the delusions of LGBT and whatever, something that Matt, well, you know, ask him if he's gay, if you catch my drift, right? I didn't know he was dating a trans, but hey, am I surprised? Anyway, yeah, that probably had something to do with it. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it was. What I think it really was Andrew right off the bat framing the debate. Because that is exactly, as I've pointed out so many times, what Matt is known for. He likes to be the moderator of his debates. He likes to set the burden of proof for his opponents while himself not having any. Right? He likes to pretend, he likes to frame the debate to be, you have to convince me, basically, right? If you can't convince me, you can't win the debate. That's not a debate. So Andrew did that to him. Oh, and another thing that he likes to do is whenever he debates Christians or even religious people, instead of talking about the topic a lot of the times, or when he can't win, you know, having a debate he's supposed to have, he just ridicules religion, right? And attacks the concept of God and how ridiculous in his opinion it is, and how you don't have any proof for it, you don't have any evidence, and claims aren't evidence, you can't, right? So he just basically goes at Christianity and the concept of God, whereas the debate wasn't even about that, wasn't even supposed to be about that. Not this one. And in many instances where it isn't about God, whether or not God exists, although he does have those debates as well. But he basically likes to move the goalposts, frame debates, change the topic. If he can't win or has no good arguments insofar as the debate topic, he will just, you know, ridicule Christianity and the concept of God, and say how it's all make-believe and yada yada yada, right? Or another fucking projection. Your whole fucking worldview is make-believe, man. You think a dude is a chick and you're not gay. Okay. Anyway, so what Andrew basically did is he preempted all the bullshit. Clearly he's watched Matt Dillahunty debate. He knows what the shtick is. And he just fucking nixed it in his opening statement. He said, I'm just going to grant you, okay, fair enough. God doesn't exist. Fair enough. Because that's how Matt likes to derail a lot of his debates. I'm just going to, right off the bat, grant you that God doesn't exist. Because what this debate is about, right, is whether or not the Christian ethic is better for society versus the secular humanist one. So let's not even go there. Let's not even don't distract, don't move goalposts, don't derail, don't dodge, right? We're not going to debate God. I'm just going to grant you, for the sake of the argument, for the sake of this debate, right? Something that I don't believe. God doesn't exist. Let's not go there. No need to go. Let's stick to the topic at hand, right? Is the Christian ethic better for society than the secular humanist one? He cornered him right off the bat. He put him on the ropes. You know, he pulled his guard down with a fake punch, or like one of them guard opening punches. And he was about to knock him the fuck out. And Matt Dillahunty just went to a knee and didn't get up. Basically. Andrew framed the debate, but within the debate topic in and of itself. Or better yet, he didn't allow. He just focused the debate on what it was supposed to be, and preempted any potential BS coming from Dillahunty, right? And also told him, you're gonna have to convince me, right? Because that's what Dillahunty likes to do. You're gonna have to convince me that your worldview, right, is better than for society than the ethics of Christianity. It's not about grounding, right? Whether God exists or doesn't exist. You don't have any fucking grounding for your worldview, Matt. So how dare you try to debunk Christianity by saying it, by attacking the grounds thereof. Your worldview isn't grounded in anything. So let's forget all about the meta, right? Let's all forget about the bullshit. And let's just stick to the topic at hand, right? And because Matt Dillahunty is a cunning fox who always likes to frame debates and not stick to the topic at hand, because you can't fucking prove God doesn't exist, right? If we're going to be debating whether or not God exists, the Christian will take the affirmative, you have to take the negative. But you can't, because you're an atheist, right? And you lost that debate a long time ago. You went from God doesn't exist to I am not convinced he does, convince me, right? This sort of Weasley bullshit, right? So basically what happened is Andrew Wilson cornered him, used some of Dillahunty's tricks, not even that, but somewhat against him, or better yet, preempted all the bullshit. Focused the debate on what it was supposed to be right off the bat. Put all the irrelevant stuff to the side. Granted Matt the shit that, he loves to talk about all the time. He took him out of his fucking element. And I think this whole, you're rude, you're unkind, and you're smug. I mean, come on, Matt Dillahunty, calling people. Really? Oh, man. Have you no self-awareness? Right? I think that was all a distraction from the fact that Matt is smart enough to realize he couldn't win the debate. He got cornered at the very, very, very beginning and ran like a bitch. That's all I gotta say.